Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stephen Gong, and I'm the Executive Director of CAAM. And I have a wonderful role to play in this exciting conversation. I just get to welcome you all, but express to you how appreciative we are that you're joining in this conversation with us. You know, actually, when CAAM was founded 32 years ago, it was with fewer number of people than are here. So I know that great things are going to come from this. I do want to just say a few words to sort of establish some kind of context for the conversation. And then I'm going to be turning it over to others who will outline the way we've structured this conversation as a kind of point-counterpoint. And actually, I'd like to start by acknowledging and thanking Don Young from our staff, but also Karin Chien, Chi-Wei Yang, and Gary Chu, who have really put this all together. They've held meetings in different cities across the country, refining ideas. So a lot of pre-work and pre-thought have gone into this day, and we're really, really appreciative. Great. Now, one of the reasons we wanted to do this is, you know, the festival is this wonderful opportunity, and we know that great conversations have always taken place because so many creative folks come into town, and then, you know, when you get something like that filmmakers brunch, ideas are sparking. We wanted to try to leverage that conversation and bring it here, and in a sense have a mini conference. And because the media landscape's changing so quickly, we thought it would be a great idea if we could try to hold a public conversation about it. One of the things I wanted to mention to you all is, for those of you who were not able to make it yesterday, I had the tremendous privilege and opportunity to present a program that honored Bob Nakamura and Karen Ishizuka and their son, Tad Nakamura. And for those of you who came and saw it, it was just a wonderful chance to reflect on people who've had an indelible mark, left an indelible mark on everything we do. Bob started his filmmaking in the 1970s, and this year is retiring, but he co-founded Visual Communications. He founded an ethno-communications program at UCLA. He started a media center within the Japanese American, with Karen, started the media center within the National Japanese American Museum, and has documented really the story of Japanese Americans' history and their experiences. And seeing it pass along to Tad, whose work honors and reflects that tradition, and to hear them talk about community and family and the way in which the stories are important, not just for that community, but for all Americans to hear, because then it becomes and affects American history. So I want to, if I can, to ask you all to keep in mind some of those kinds of issues of who we do this work for, and whose stories have not been told, who is not at this table, and we want to try to keep them in our thoughts. So I do want to add, I know some of you don't know all of their names, and I'm reminded we've all got these kinds of stories. Here in the Bay Area, we miss the memories. We revere Jim Yee and Janice Sakamoto and Lonnie Ding. In New York, I know it's Bill G. San Diego has George Lynn. So let's remember and honor all of those who made this day possible. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. I just want to say there's so many people standing in the back. We're bringing more chairs, and there's also a few kind of scattered around here if you guys want to fill in. It's hopefully going to be a long, engaged conversation, so we want you guys to be comfortable. But first, I just want to say how grateful I am to the Center for Asian American Media for CAAM. You know, this summit started out as an idea I had last summer, and CAAM, you know, really got behind it and supported it with all the resources and funding, and said, you know, I was basically pitching a conversation, and they said, okay, we'll put whatever we have behind it, and let's try and make it happen. So I'm super grateful for that, and you know, I am especially thankful as well to Chi-Wei Yang and Gary Chu, who came on also to help with the idea and help execute it. And we had, you know, about 6 months of conversations with some people in this room, some people not here, leading up to what would make kind of the most interesting dialogue for all of us in the room today. And there are some people who have helped along the way. Anderson Lay, the director of Hawaii Film Festival, and others just around in New York and LA especially that I'm really grateful to. And I really want to thank Monisha from Guest Services, who had to deal with 15 extra guests to travel in, so thank you. And most of all at CAAM, I want to thank Don Young, who really came behind the idea and has put in so much time on top of his busy workload already. So I'm super grateful for that. So the kind of next most important people are the speakers. We have 11 speakers today, and I'm so grateful that they're here. There's a lot of competing time interests, some of them taking place in a state in Texas. So we're really glad that you guys are here in the room with us. We won't mention the word, yes. So the speakers are here to share their ideas, their thoughts, their questions, to really provoke a dialogue with the rest of us. They're coming from all corners of the industry: film, television, internet, interactive, digital media, distribution, exhibition, documentary, socially transformative media, education. So you're gonna hear a lot of different viewpoints today. And I also really want to thank you guys, the audience, because you're a huge component of how we envision this conversation. We always thought of it as like a TED Talk meets a town hall. And the town hall part is where you come in. We want to hear how you're thinking about these issues, what questions it brings up for you, what you've experienced. You know, I think one thing that we all can say and we all know is that the media landscape has been transformed. And it's been transformed from my corner, which is independent film, and it's been transformed, I think, across the landscape. I mean, beyond just media, we're talking also music, journalism, you know, books, publishing, so on and so forth, down to like, you know, political power, right? The way political power works in the world today is also transformed. So this is an attempt to really just make sense of what's going on, for us to talk to each other and say, this is what's going on in my corner, let's hear what's going on in your corner. How are you dealing with this? You know, how do we translate these kind of tidal waves of change down to an individual human level, which is, how do I pay my rent next month as an independent film producer, right? How do I keep sustaining myself so I can keep doing the work and keep in this industry? So that's what we're here to kind of help figure out. We always want to just make sure that we take it back down to that personal level, you know, how it affects us and being able to continue our work and survive and doing what we love. So that said, that's kind of a encouragement for you guys to participate as much as possible. We have 2 microphone stands set up. Feel free to line up at them. We also have 2 wireless mics, so there will be volunteers in the bright blue shirts roaming with the microphones. So feel free to raise your hand. The way this works is we have 5 conversation topics. Each topic will have a speaker, a respondent, and then time for the audience, for you guys to talk back, to give us questions and to give us feedback. So in each 30 minutes, there will be time for the audience to participate. And at the very end, we'll have kind of a roundup. We'll have a summary of what's been discussed and a chance for a longer engaged conversation with the audience then.